Hello and welcome to this tutorial on getting your avatar scaled up a little bit or down if you want to make your character, let's say, a little bit taller, a little bit shorter than what the default is here. So we're going to be doing this all through Unity. This won't change the shape of the avatar at all. If you want to do that, I believe some avatars have sliders you can use to do that. This one doesn't. So all we can do is make the avatar like actually bigger, actually smaller, one-to-one scale. If you want to go ahead and actually change the body shape on a model like this, you have to take it into Blender. That is way above what I've learned to do so far. I certainly hope to learn that in the future, and if I do and it's something I can make a tutorial about, I will. But at this moment, we're just kind of sticking with making the model bigger or smaller in Unity. So I think we're going to try and make him a little bit taller. We don't want to make him like gigantic, but I believe this model starts at around like 5'8" or so, and maybe I want my model to be something closer to 6 feet ish. And it's going to be kind of like, you might have to like kind of upload one or two times to kind of get the height exactly where you want it. But I'm just going to show you how to resize it here. So we're going to go ahead and select the wolf here. And again, whatever model you have, you'll select the model that you want to resize. And you can see on this side we have a scale option. So before we actually scale anything, we want to add something to the scene that we can use to kind of test the scale. Otherwise, like I could be 1 inch tall right now and you wouldn't know it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and go to Game Object, and we'll create a 3D object, and we'll create a cube. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the cube, I think apparently it's not exactly one-to-one, but we're like 1 unit here is 1 meter, but I think it's approximately 1 meter in real life. So if you look up how much 6 feet is in meters, I believe it's like around 1.8-ish. And yes, it looks like, in fact, 6 feet is about 1.8288 or 1.83. So we'll just go ahead and go back into Unity, and we'll make this cube 1.83 all around for now. So this is around like the height that we want our box to be, or our character to be, sorry. So we're gonna go ahead and I usually just put it kind of halfway through the body, that way you can actually see the body as well. We also want to make sure that it's gonna be around the same height as the foot. So we'll just move that down a little bit. All of these view, like moving the view around like I'm doing right now, it should be the same as Substance Painter. So again, you're going to be holding down the Alt key to rotate. You're going to be holding down the Alt and Control key to pan around. And you can go ahead and use your scroll wheel to zoom in and out. I think you can hold down middle mouse button instead of Control and Alt to pan around. I just don't have a middle mouse button on my mouse, so I don't use that. So you can do either one of those things. So we've gotten the cube object here around the height that we want our character to be. You can see that the character is, like, the ears obviously are pointing through, but the actual head is quite a bit lower. And we want to add those 4 inches or so to make him closer to 6 feet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select the wolf, and we'll go ahead and just scale the wolf. So you'll see if I do like even 2, like 2 is huge. It's literally doubling the size of your character, right? So we probably don't want to go that big. What we want to do is we just want to make it kind of more subtle. So let's say 1.1 or something like that. And you want to make sure that every one of these is equal. If you make it like 1 point, let's say like I was trying to do this a little bit. Let's say you're trying to make your character a little bit thicker or something like that, and you're like 1.23 or 1.4 or whatever. The issue is that if you change any of these where they're not all the same, where they're not all 1-to-1, you're going to end up like with your feet in the ground, or like I had my viewpoint, which is where your character's looking through. We'll get to that in a second. I had that hovering over my character's head, even though it was in the right place in Unity. Like, just save yourself the grief, and just make sure you're keeping them all 1-to-1. So if X is 1.5, Y should also be 1.5, Z should also be 1.5. So in this case, 1.1 is even too much. We'll do 1.05. 1.05, 1.05. Okay, we're getting closer. Maybe we'll want to do 1.02, 1.02, 1.02. And that's looking like that might be closer to kind of the height we're trying to get to here. Maybe a little bit short. We could do 1.03. Here, we'll just focus on the Y for now. All right, so we'll go with 1.03. That looks like that's about where we want to make it. And again, if you want to make it way taller, way shorter, you can play around with that however you want. For this tutorial, we're just going to make them like a little bit taller. So now we can go ahead and select the cube, we can go ahead and hit the delete key to delete the cube out of the scene, since we don't need it in the scene now anymore. We've already resized our character. Now you'd think you'd be ready to upload at this point, but there's one more thing you need to do. If you don't change the viewpoint, your viewpoint will now be like through your chin, or like if you made your character tall, it'll be through your chest or whatever. So you want your viewpoint to actually be between your eyes, right? Otherwise, when you're walking around as the avatar in game, your viewpoint, or viewport, I think is what they call it, will be in like a weird place that you don't want it to be. So we'll go ahead and select the wolf again. And then you can see right here on the side in the inspector, when we have the wolf selected, there is a section here called View. So we'll go ahead and open that if it's not already open, and you can click Edit, and then it'll highlight where that viewpoint is right here. So you can see right now it's like inside my nose. We want it to be kind of more between the eyes. And on this avatar, you usually want it to be kind of like half out of the character, just like it is right now, maybe a little more inside. But yeah, you want it to kind of be where you think the character would be looking out of, which is again probably right between the eyes and around like eye level. So now that we have that set, now our character is ready to upload. You can check out my other video on how to upload through Unity. They'll give you more of an explanation on how to do that. Basically, we're just going to be going to the VRChat SDK, and we're going to go ahead and click on Build and Publish and go through that whole process. If you are trying to update one of your different avatars with a different height, again, you just want to make sure that you have this blueprint ID correct. If this is the wrong blueprint ID, you want to detach it. Or let's say you want to upload like a taller version of your character as well as keeping the smaller version, so you want this to be a brand new upload. You're going to want to detach that blueprint ID here and make sure you leave it blank if you're trying to do a brand new upload. That way you won't be overwriting the avatar that you already have uploaded with this ID. So go ahead and upload that model, and you'll be a little taller or shorter or whatever height you want to be in VRChat. Hopefully this was helpful for you. And you can check out some of my other videos on getting your custom avatar created and uploaded to VRChat. And I hope you have a great day. North out.